Welcome back to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark. It's News Hour. We're here on a Friday, actually. Sorry for the couple minutes delay here. I was finishing up one of the games I'm going to talk about on the first segment here. I had to wait for it to download and play through. I didn't even play a full game, but yeah, it gives me something else to talk about besides Donkey Kong this week. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Next week is October, and we're getting close to Comic-Con and Extra Life, and yeah, so I'll begin the show by saying, there will, just to know, the show that would normally be scheduled for October 18th will probably air on the 20th. It will probably go live on the 20th because I'll be at Comic-Con on Friday. Be on the lookout. Maybe I'll hit the social medias for that, since I'll probably be there a little bit earlier before Dan and Jen, so... gives me a couple weeks to kind of figure out social media a little bit. Hey. But anyway, most important thing, I'm going to reiterate this basically every week until we get to the Extra Life dates. We raise money for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia every year through Extra Life. It's our 9th year doing it. Our schedule this year is that instead of doing just either one big night or two big nights, we're going to do the first 4 Saturdays in November. We're going to be live. It's probably going to be I'm going to be doing like a 12 to 18 hour stream at one point. But the other times the schedule is to be determined in terms of how long, who, and all that. Everybody in the Game Vault Pod community that would be on camera for Extra Life has a child, so or is going to have a child shortly. So we got to work with emergencies and work around stuff like that. I am probably going to be around all 4 Saturdays, so you'll see either this gorgeous vase or hear this beautiful voice on all 4 dates. But yeah, I have some special things planned. We're going to do a Zelda randomizer. I'm going to try and link up with a friend of the podcast, Kitty Ashcat, to play some Siege, which I've never played before, but she seems to be really into it. So it looks like one of Jonathan's things is we're going to do an Archipelago randomizer as well one of those days, whether it's on my day or one of the other days that we stream. So we're starting to get some games in. By the time you hear this podcast, all the information so far should be up on, and we should have a tiny URL link. I will put that in the description on the YouTube channel and on the notes for the podcast if you're just listening to this audio. I'm going to work on that on Sunday, and we'll get that all settled, get a tiny URL for you guys so I have something to announce. Because the site is live, I just got to update it to, say what we're doing. Because I think it mentions Dungeons & Dragons, and we're not doing that. So, yeah, that's it. It's the first 4 weeks in November. Let me see if I can pull up a calendar real fast. That would be the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. We're not doing the 30th. I know there are 5 Saturdays in November, but that is Thanksgiving week. So people may be off with their families doing things, and I just didn't want to overwhelm people. But yeah, mostly the reason we're doing the 4 weeks in a row is just so we can give you, as much content as possible while we try to raise money for children. And also, it gives people not feel like they're boxed in to doing a day or having to be available. Like if a kid gets sick or, they can't, the sitter backs out or something, like whatever is going on the day they want to stream. I can be available to be tagged in, or someone else can be available to be tagged in to do like a 4 to 6 hour stream or something like that on those days. Or for me, I would probably just go longer because unless if I have anything to do specifically, which for me in November would be doing the clock for the junior college basketball team that I do from November to like March, roughly. I maybe we just went into February. But yeah, so, and that's usually only like 3 hours at most. So I can come in, like if games are at noon, I'll be home by 4:30, and then I can do like 5 to midnight or something on a Saturday. So yeah, just be on the lookout. The Discord on our end and on Roxy Foxy's end will be updating everyone with schedule changes and stuff like that if when it occurs. We'll be posting when we're live on there. And I'm trying to think of special things to do on my stream. Either things to be done to me or gifts and prizes for people. Just kind of trying to figure out exactly what to do. And it all depends on actually how much money I spend at Comic-Con. What we can do for you guys. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so that's it for Extra Life. Yeah, like I said, I will be doing a shortened version of this, which probably just updates every week until November 2nd. Yeah, so we will do that. Yeah, so I hope you guys join. We've raised over $1,000 at least the last 4 years. We've gotten close to or eclipsed 2,000 a couple times. I set modest goal. I think I set it at 700 or 500 or something because I don't know exactly with the split up schedule and the, not concentrating it all in one day. If we'll meet those goals, we're a little humble here in terms of this stuff, but you guys surprise us every year. So I'd rather have a shorter goal and then just increase the number as we go. So, all right, moving on to games I've been playing. So if you were here for Donkey Kong Country last Monday, I got to the end. I am fighting the end boss. I am stammering to say it. King K. Cruel. There we go. And yeah, so basically this stream on Monday, if you're watching this then, will probably be relatively short. I hope I don't need the whole hour just to beat the final boss. I got him to his final hit during the stream last Monday. But I'm going to have Tom off air, spin a wheel, get me a new game, and we'll announce it and start it on Monday if I beat it on the first try and it's like a 5-minute stream. We'll start the new game then. So yeah, it's been fun so far. I've gotten a lot better at platformers, but that was a low bar to cross. I know I'm still probably frustrating the hell out of Jonathan and Dan while they're watching, maybe even Tom too, there. So yeah, it's been interesting. I had some fun with it. Like I said, those Monday streams are going to stick to, at highest level, maybe an N64 game, but definitely NES, Sega, and Super Nintendo would be the games that we would be playing for that stream. And yeah, DKC. Yeah, it was a game I played a little bit, because everybody played it back then, and this is it'll be nice to check this off the list. Maybe if we can't find a good game, maybe I'll try to beat Mario 3 or something like that. A game that I have. I don't know if I've beaten Mario 3. No, I only beat World. Yes, so maybe that's a game we'll play, and I'll beat Mario 3. But we'll spin the wheel. We'll leave it up to the wheel gods to see what I get to play here. The other game I've been playing, haven't been able to get into Tomb Raider or Last Jedi, and because of a headache last week, I had to cancel Nier on Sunday. That was mainly, it ended up not being too bad of a headache, to be honest. It was mainly because I had run out of, ibuprofen or Tylenol in the house, and I was just trying to fight through it. And I literally just gave up, went to the 24-hour CVS, and grabbed some ibuprofen, and it was a relief. I thought it might have been a migraine, because light was affecting it, but it calmed down pretty quickly once I just got a normal headache medicine in me. So maybe it's just a caffeine thing. I don't know if I drank a lot of caffeine that day or not. But either way, we are definitely doing Nier on Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. I was upset that I was not able to get to it because, like I said, I had just, the light bulb had clicked, and I am in on that game now, comparatively. So, yeah. So the other game I've been playing, and I was just playing it right before we went live here. If you're watching on Twitch on Friday here, the 10-hour trial for NHL 25 is out. And I just forgot. I don't think I shut it off, so I'm going to be wasting basically an hour here of that trial. But I'm probably just going to play it for, 4 to 5 more hours, and then make a decision on if I'm buying it or not. Which I will get the free version no matter what, whether it's good or not. But so far I've went through the menus and stuff. Menus are much different. I know it's boring to start off with menus on a sort of in review of a game, but the menus are different, and it was pissing me off for the first 2 minutes because in my mind, in a lot of sports games, when you get to the menu, you get to your thing where it says rosters, and then you hit A and it goes to a sub menu, and then you pick what you want. Well, how the new menus are is when you're on rosters, the sub menu is already active. So when you press A, you go to the first option of the sub menu, and I kept doing it over and over and over again. Then when I tried to start the franchise, I forgot, did the same thing, kept having to back out of a franchise that I did not want to start. And then you get to the franchise screen, same thing. They're really into using the bumpers, like LB and RB, since I'm playing it on EA Play on Xbox. And doing all that, it's just getting... I just got to get used to the menus because they are much different than how the menus have been in the past. Very much streamlined. It looks like it would be a really good an upgrade. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, what they're doing, but, it's definitely, something to get used to. For non-sports fan out there, the next sentence probably won't matter, but I am ecstatic that as a known Philadelphian and Flyers fan, one of our best prospect, Matvei Michkov, is in this game because he is Russian. He was not in the other games after the last game after he got drafted. So I am now officially not making an all-star team anymore just to play the games. I will play as the Flyers with Michkov, known Philadelphian. I am excited. So review gameplay wise, through the first period. Granted, I'm playing on the equivalent of normal in a sports game, and it feels good. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting cheated, or the, it's got to be on my TV tropes or whatever they do nowadays, when they're trying to out streamers. But anyway, the projecting controls feel fine. I'm getting used to the hitting being on the face buttons instead of the stick. It gives you a little more control, but not a whole lot more. But I've gotten better at that after playing through 24 for a while, so kept that on there. The main improvement is definitely the passing. I don't know if they tweaked anything, or maybe I've somehow gotten better with the passing. I don't know. But I was setting up, or Wikipedia page, yeah, let's do that. I don't know if, what's the reason for it, but yeah, it just feels like the problem with hockey games over the last, I would say, let's say the PS4 era, so like a decade or more, it might have been the first couple games on there, might have been fine, is that every time I went to pass the ball, the FIFA or FC still has this problem a little bit, is that my brain and my eye look at the screen and go, I want to pass to that guy. And then I go to push the button to line it up and do it, and they don't pass to that guy. They miss that guy. Or they throw it to the right or left. And in this case, when I see a play occurring and I go to throw a pass, it goes to the guy. Now, whether it's the perfect pass to where I could get a good shot off or do anything like that, that is different depending on the guy passing the buck. But the main crux of the game that would always piss me off in a hockey game is that I know where I want to put the puck. I don't care if the defense knocks it down or it gets blocked or anything. That doesn't bother me. Like, I don't feel like I should make 100% of the plays. But in years past, it wouldn't go to that guy. Like, I was passing a lot when trying to do, like, a cross-ice pass on a 2-on-1. It would throw it into the goalie instead of going sideways. And it was just because they use a vision cone thing, and that was always finicky and, But this one seems to have improved that. And they introduced this new thing called IQ. I don't really, I think it's EAIQ or something IQ. It's called FC IQ for FC, so maybe it's called NHL IQ here. I just know it's a new feature they're putting in all the sports games. Going forward, I don't know if Madden has it. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. But the players seem to know how to be hockey players. And, like, the little bit of FIFA 25 I played, same thing. They know how to be soccer players. Like, they're not just doing the same motion. Like, for an example, I don't know how many hockey fans out there are listening or watching. But if you are, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. When I was going down the ice on a 2-on-1, and I had the puck, the guy skating with me didn't just stay straight with his stick out in front of him. He turned and got ready to one-timer the puck if I threw it across. If he needed the turn to be on his forehand. And the guys that were, let's just say, I'm on the right side of the ice. So the lefties would stay, like, sort of with the stick out in front so they could deflect a pass. The righties would turn and get ready for the one-timers. And in years past, all the players did the same thing. Whether they were a scorer, a guy that just goes to the front of the net, they all did the same exact thing on, like, a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. In this first period that I played, which I've only played a period, so I don't know if it gets repetitive or anything like that, the players seem to know what to do on the ice, even defensively. Like, they don't just seem... Like, the AI seems better. Now, I don't know how much better it is. Maybe over a course of a game, I still have, like, really bad AI moments. But so far, everything looks good. And I got a couple scoring chances out of it. Just by the fact that they were in a different position, so when I passed to them, they were able to do something with the puck before the defense got there. And even circling back to FIFA, which I played last week and talked about, same thing. Like, if I was coming down the wing, with an overlap or something with the left back or right back, going down the wing, the winger midfielder would cut inside and not just stay side by side with me parallel. He would see, got one defender in front of me, there's open grass here, I'm going to go to the open grass, you either find me there or go and cross it. And then people on the other side would see me going there and they would come. Like, that IQ thing seems to be working. I don't know if it'll break or if it's easy to break, but through the little bit I have played, it actually feels like I'm playing the game. And doesn't feel like I need to cheat in order to score goals. I've already hit a post and had a spectacular save by their goalie, like legit spectacular save. And the announcing has been better. I scored a goal right as the timer went off. I took a screenshot of it. Literally, it went to zeros behind on the clock, right behind the net, right before the puck went in. And the announcer was like, the puck went in the net, but time expired. Like, they seem to be calling what's going on and not just, like, doing their normal end-of-period announcing. So a lot of that stuff it seems to be occurring. And, again, I need more time with it to see if that continues. The reason I've stopped listening to commentary, and I had to do this with NCAA, is because... the NCAA was weird because they didn't say any of the players' names. Like, and I'm like, I know there's 11,000 players in here, but you know the names. Just have them read the names and do what you have to do. And I thought that was going to start happening in NHL because I scored a goal with a rookie, not me, Scott, another rookie on my team. And it kept calling him the young guy. This young guy scored, and it's great for this young guy. And I'm like, oh, they're not going to say names. I haven't heard them say the names in the play-by-play. And then, a little while later, they said the guy's name when he got the puck. And I'm like, okay. This isn't like an EA thing where they are concentrating too much on one thing and was like, no one will notice if you don't say the names of the players. But they seem more engaged in what is going on in the game. My example, which was my pet peeve from last year, I don't know if any of you were around for my rant on NHL 24. I don't know if that was still when we were doing the Game Vault Pod as the three of us, or maybe it was Game of the Year or something. I had done a thing in that game where I scored 100 points. Or no, 100 goals. Like, I broke Gretzky's record, which is 92 goals. And I got the 93rd goal. Game did not acknowledge it. No acknowledgement. I scored the goal with the rookie in this game. They had a whole package ready for when a rookie scores a goal. It was like, it's his first goal in the NHL, and they show the thing like they've done before, where the guys come over and like slap him on the head, they toss the puck to the bench and all that. Then the guys were like, oh man, mom and dad must be great. Like they talked about the thing that occurred on the ice, and not just a basic goal call. And I hope that continues, because that'll mean I'll maybe listen to commentary more than just having it off in a podcast. So that's all I've been mainly playing. Programming update. I was deciding what to do with this, and I think what I'm going to do, I seemingly keep delaying Etern Nights, but Metaphor put out the prologue demo. So the next 2 Saturdays we'll be playing the prologue demo for Metaphor. So if you're listening to this on Monday, first part's already occurred. It should take like 4 to 6 hours, so maybe we'll just beat it in 4 and, not have to do a second weekend. But we're definitely playing it. If you're watching this live on Twitch on Friday, we're playing that tomorrow instead of Etern Nights. And then if we got to go to next Saturday, we'll go. And then Etern Nights will come on after that. So we'll have a lot more to talk about, because I'll probably play more NHL. I'll be playing a bunch of games before that. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into the news. Oh, crap. The link broke. Give me a second. There we go. So the State of Play occurred with a bunch of announcements here. We're going to try to go real quick through this here. Ghost of Tsushima 2 was announced, but they're seeming to have it be like a Ghost series. I equated it to, when I was talking to somebody, like a Tales of series. It's Ghost of, and then it's going to be something. Ghost of Yotai, I believe this is. It looks friggin' amazing. Just like Ghost of Tsushima looked. I did not play the first game, but it's just as beautiful. Lighting is amazing. The environments look breathtaking as usual, and I am truly excited for Erika Ishii to be playing the lead character. I believe it's Atsu or Etsu. It's ATSU. I haven't heard it spoken in a couple days, so it's not burned into my brain. But the big announcement from this, I don't know if I pulled this as a second story up here. We'll go deeper into it a little later. I see it up there in the tabs. But they're trying to make the Ghost of series multimedia, like TV shows and stuff like that. So, this is going to be awesome. And screw the haters. It looks fantastic, and it's going to be a great game. And they are going to deprive themselves of a good game because they are freaking stupid. So next game. Speaking of stupid, not Horizon. Horizon, great game for those of you watching on TV. With that date, with what I said, followed by Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster popping up. Horizon Zero Dawn, great game. I could arguably say you can have a really legitimate argument that Zero Dawn's story is better than Forbidden West's story. The way the games look and play, Forbidden West, much, much better. And Tom and Metal Militia in the chat, ding, 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 you're a winner. Remastering PS4 games is fucking stupid. I know I was trying to hold my language a little bit this week, but this, oh, Jesus. The only way this is appropriate is if they do what Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us Part 2 remaster, and they added director's commentary or something else on top of it. I don't care that there will be 10 hours of re-recorded dialogue and enhancements to the visuals. I don't care. Game looked gorgeous beforehand. I don't need it to, it doesn't matter. You need to give me something else. With that said, if I ever want to play it on my PS5, I'll pay the $10 for the upgrade. I'll do it. It's stupid, but I'll do it because it's not expensive. They're not asking me to buy a whole new $40, $50, $60 game. $10 is fine for this. And if it makes it look better, if I'm streaming it or something, so be it. Yeah, Forbidden West will be remastered next year. That's true. Probably, maybe not. If that was... Forbidden West might have been native to PS5. So, maybe they'll do some kind of, like, upgraded, like, thing. I don't know. Either way, I won't put it past, you know, them to do this. This is so stupid. Oh, yeah, that's a joke. For the PS6, Tom, yeah. So, there were two great moments. I watched this, just a little inside baseball, on how I watch these press conferences when I'm not watching them with you, the ones that take place while I'm working my 9-to-5 job. I'll watch just the thing through, you know, the Sony feed or whatever without any commentary, and then I'll watch somebody watch it. And during the week, if it was a good conference, like this is sort of a good conference, so I'm sort of working my way through people, I'll watch more than one. But I normally start out with, if he has put the video on YouTube yet, I will go to the Jeff Gerstmann watch along of a state of play or something like this. Because he's just cynical enough to not, like, overhype things, and sometimes he's a little too negative for certain things, but he did the same exact thing that I did when I watched it, is when this ended, you know, I'm making fun of it the whole time in my head. When it ended, he literally paused the stream, because he watched it after the live, like, a couple hours later, which I'm glad the video was up at that point. And just had a whole rant about, like, this is bullshit, basically, was the rant. And, yeah. It's not going to last much longer on this, but, yeah, it's just stupid. And we got a story coming up, 2 stories down the line here, about how this even gets worse. Next up, for Night Duck, Monster Hunter's Wilds. It's coming out on February 28th. This looks great. PC specs are available. I don't want to click this because I don't want to fuck up my setup here, but and change resolutions and stuff. But yeah, you can go and check out that. And they showed off some new monsters in this trailer. Looks great. A game that if I had more time, I would definitely try and get into. But as I've gotten older and getting close to 40 here, I know, yes, this is the look of an almost 40-year-old. It goes down on the list. Like, if there's a space and time when nothing's coming out that I want to play, then maybe I'll jump into it. But It's one of those where it's in that backlog area of kind of like how Tomb Raider was for like 6 years, where I'm like, I want to play that game. But there's so many other games that are above it on my list that I know I'll like and go and do it. But yeah, it looked real good, and yeah, I'm sure. As Night Duck says, he's already contacted our IT professional, Metal Militia, how to upgrade for the game. All right, next up, Astrobot announced a DLC thing. It's going to be free. That's the best part. My favorite part is that there's going to be online speedrun levels, and they're going to add 10 more bots. And if you don't know, the bots are essentially dressed up like Sony people that have like been in Sony games and stuff like that. So that should be fun. Yeah, so Midnight Walk here. Yeah, it comes from the creators of Lost in Random. So they're known for. I was even thinking this before saying this, as they said, it's Tim Burton-esque stuff. Don't know when it's going to come out, but it looks like it is a PSVR 2 game, as well as I believe just being on PS5. So this probably feels like a game that would be best on PS Pro. If it's a VR game. So, and then the game I am most excited about that popped up on here. We've been through this discussion before. I am not good at any of these types of games, but I love to play them as long as I can play them. So Hell Is Us looks fantastic. I notice a lot of Souls-like in it. I don't know if that's actually going to be true, but it feels like a game that I will play for 10 to 20 hours or a little more. And if it's like Bloodborne, where I got almost to the end of Bloodborne, I will go really far. But it could fall into like the Dark Souls stuff, where I got almost like 2/3 of the way through. Elden Ring falls into this, and then I just fall off of it, not because the game's bad or anything, but because something else comes out and blah blah blah. But this was the trailer, outside of, we'll get to something later, that wasn't already on my radar in terms of something I like, that sort of popped and jumped up my list here. So Hell Is Us, looking forward to that. Trying to get as much money out of Pal World before it goes away. It's out on PS4, PS5 if you want to play it. They're not releasing it in Japan for obvious reasons, so we'll see. More VR stuff. Metro Awakening, which looks pretty cool, but if you don't have VR, obviously it's not going to work for you. But the good thing is that it's also going to be on PC VR, so you can do MetaQuest and stuff like that. You don't need PSVR 2. Arcade Chronicles. This one is a Souls-like game, from what I've seen. It didn't pop as much as Hell Is Us to me, but it is definitely something I will, hopefully, if it might just be a Sony game, which would suck. I was going to say if it's a Game Pass game, I would definitely check it out. But yeah, so yeah, this is a lot of these games that you'll see on here. Sort of, they intrigued me, but I already have a list of games on the backlog and things that I have to catch up with before I get there. Next up here is Lunar. So Lunar is an RPG that I have admired from afar, in terms of as I've gotten over the what's the word for it? Sort of, I'll use embarrassment. It's not really embarrassment, of being someone that enjoys JRPGs. Getting over that, being made fun of in high school, and all about that. So Lunar is a series that I have sort of, am aware of, and this I'm low-key excited about this, is what I said to Metal Militia, who is obviously really excited about it. Um, yeah, so it's one of those games. When I say that, it's like I've heard of it, looked at it, and it's like, oh, that's a game I should try. Not so much that I've heard people say it's great. It's just like I played Grandia. What other games? Playing the Legends of Heroes games later. Tales of games later. Like, just, not that those are similar to this, but sort of, it fell into, like, older, newer Phantasy Stars and stuff where I look at it from afar going, no, this is a genre I like. And I should try these games. That's really, so I'm, like, low-key excited to try this because it's remastered. So, we'll just see how it is. I believe Metal Militia is excited about this one. Obviously, is very much in his wheelhouse. So next up, free DLC out for Shredder's Revenge. If you're still playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, they have a remixed soundtrack. They have new characters, and just giving you something to play if you're still playing around with this. Probably, I would say a lot of people that are still messing with this are either huge TMNT fans that are just constantly playing it like it's their one game, or it's parents have kids that are really into the Turtles. So now you have new content, so you don't have to keep playing it over and over again with the same stuff. Next up, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver Remaster, coming in December. Again, another game that crossed paths with me on the PS1, PS2 era here, that I've had people that are very, very much into it, but I've never touched myself. But yeah, it's arriving on the 25th anniversary of the original release, so never say that Sony isn't romantic. Next up, Hitman 3 VR is arriving in December. There isn't another game that was more made for VR than Hitman. So that should be fun. Again, I did not have VR, so kind of, out of my head here. Yeah. So, Fantasia, Neo Dimension, coming in December, is I believe it's an RPG tactical game. This is the thing from the Final Fantasy guys. Yeah, so I believe, I don't know if Night Duck can correct me. Is this the one that was like locked to like Apple Games or something like that? Like this was locked somewhere. And it's finally getting replayed. Yeah. So yeah, this is the game again that, yeah, it was an iPhone game. Okay. So I'll definitely give it a shot. It looks great from the trailer, but it's the Final Fantasy guys, so it's really until you get into the gameplay whether it'll be good or not. They know how to make an RPG pop off the screen and trailers and stuff like that. So I've heard good things. I believe Gersman said, finally glad that it's off the iPhone for people to play it. So next up, I just wanted to not scroll past this for the headline. Keanu Reeves will headline a Sonic Cross Shadow Generations DLC. I guess maybe he's in the movie? I don't know. His voice will be in the game. Just thought that was a weird headline. Lego Horizon Adventure got a release date, November 14th. So if you're looking forward to that, you can pre-order the game next week if you are interested in it. And we'll see if it sort of is a good Lego game or a bad Lego game. That's really all that's about it right now. Next game up is Towers of Agasapa or Agasapa. I should have really listened to these things before going there, but city building game. Didn't really have much memory from watching in terms of whether I enjoy it, would enjoy it or not. I'll probably have to watch the trailer again, but it is coming in November. So, Fear the Spotlight, which is one of the first Blumhouse games coming out, will be coming out on October 22nd. It seems to have a lot of... It's definitely PS1 inspired. There seems to be some things that remind you a little bit of PT. But it is on PlayStation and Xbox, so... again, another one I'm hoping maybe pops up on Game Pass. And maybe Roxy will play it on stream. And I don't know if this is the final thing. I didn't scroll down to make sure, but the thing I marked out for, to use a wrestling term, the most was the second and I think final DLC for Alan Wake 2, the Lake House expansion. Looked incredible. It's very more harder faced or based than the one that came out that was a little more fun. Yeah. To say I am stoked for this would be an understatement. It comes out in October. I am definitely purchasing it. If I didn't already, I think... Did I purchase the full thing when I purchased... I may already have purchased it. Because I don't know if I purchased the season pass or just the one DLC. I think I had to purchase the whole pass. But either way, this will definitely be played by ya boy. I probably won't do it on stream. But, yeah. Yeah, this is... Oh, man, I'm so excited for this game. Yeah, I hope Remedy kicks it out of the park again, because they did it with the last DLC in the game itself. And it'll just get me more and more excited for Control 2. PS5 controllers and colors, if you're interested in that, were announced, so just go and pick it up. Dragon Dynasty Warriors Origins, if you're into those Musa games, it's coming on January 17th, so that will be coming out. And Mark Cerny. Now, I don't know if Night Duck and Metal Militia are still here. I'm pretty sure Night Duck is probably still here. I don't know if anybody watched this podcast or State of Play. When Mark Cerny came up on screen, he looked like a Dana Carvey character. Like, he looked like if you made Dana Carvey play a nerdy video game person, whatever they did with the background or his makeup, he looked like somebody playing Mark Cerny and not Mark Cerny. And I laughed the entire time he was on screen. It was great. But yeah, so now it's like pro support will have, Dragon Age, Assassin's Creed, the new ones, the new Metal Gear. There's going to be a whole list of games that'll have enhancements on PS Pro. So just be on the lookout for that stuff. Next up, and story-wise, this has a little caveat to it. Give me 1 second here. Oh, there we go. PS5 limited edition sells out, and scalpers are selling it for thousands. There's an update to this story that Metal Militia let me know. That they are canceling the pre-orders or something to that effect. I haven't been able to research enough. It's breaking news sort of thing. Let me reset my camera here real fast while I'm talking. It's interesting to see. Like, I don't know how you get around scalpers for this. I really don't know. If you're not going to physically sell them in stores only, if you're going to sell them online, I mean, even if you sell them physically in stores, I don't know if there's a way you can avoid scalpers. They're just heartless people. Live in a country with laws. That's true. But we live in America. So, if it's something that helps you get more money, there's not a law against it. Or at least it seems that way. But, yeah, there's got to be something. So, either way, it looks like, I think, Tom, we weren't able to, us here at the Game Vault podcast, we're not able to get the full information from the rumor that there were things going around that they've been canceling pre-orders because we don't know if it's because they oversold or because they're trying to curb this problem. I'm thinking it's more oversold because I don't think Sony gives a fuck about this at all. So, yeah, that's an interesting twist that might come up on the podcast next week in terms of that story there. So, if hopefully yours didn't get canceled, or if they canceled them all, good luck getting another one if you were able to do it. Next up, what I was saying, another gross thing that Sony's doing. So, as it was announced before, Horizon Zero Dawn is getting the remaster, 1090, $9.99 upgrade. So as you can see, if you're watching on the screen here, they have increased the price of Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition for the PS4 to $39.99. If you're watching on the screen, PlayStation Hits stuff that's on PlayStation 4 are usually $19.99 games. Like God of War, Last of Us Remastered, things like that are usually, they say $19.99. So essentially, if you don't already own Horizon Zero Dawn, this is their way to make you buy the new version instead of trying to get around the sale. Because if you take the $40 plus the $9.99, it's the $49.99 that the PS5 version is selling for. So, kind of shitty for them to do this. But it's, from a business standpoint, it makes sense. You don't want to lose money if all you're looking at is bottom line. But it was funny that this popped up immediately after this. Now, I can hear arguments either way, that the $10 upgrade is just a thank you to the people that bought the game previously for getting the upgrade. And this is just for people trying not to skirt the system to sort of do that. But I can also say is like, if people were going to buy the PS4 version, you're still getting that money anyway. I don't know how much more profit you'll make, from that. Some people just go the easy route and just buy the PS5 game. So I can see both sides here, but it was interesting. Someone took a screenshot of those three games together, showing the difference in price, and that they were all labeled PlayStation hits. So, speaking of The Last of Us, sort of non-gaming news, the trailer for The Last of Us Season 2 of the HBO show came out, and it was great. Problem with watching the trailer, for those of us that have played the video game, is I'm not going to be spoiled. But what I was spoiled of is I know a certain thing is going to occur in this season, and probably pretty early on. Unless if they tell the story in a different fashion. Because they showed scenes that are 100% months after the event, the inciting event in Last of Us Part 2. And I'm trying to be respectful for anyone that didn't play the games but love the TV series to not say what that inciting moment is. I don't know if it's in this thing here. I don't think they put the spoiler here. That's why I'm not scrolling down anymore. But yeah, watch this trailer. It's great. If you've played the game, it has a lot of great side-by-side stuff. They of scenes in the game. It's a really beautiful scene between Dina and Ellie when they're playing the guitar. When Ellie's playing the guitar. Jackson looks great in winter, which is how the game opens. And yeah, it looks like they're doing it well. I think the thing they're adding to this is it seems like, I don't know if Catherine O'Hara is playing Maria. No, Maria was a different actress. So it looks like Catherine O'Hara, I think it was Catherine O'Hara, in the trailer, seems to be playing like a therapist talking to Joel, which makes sense. Joel needs a fucking therapist. So I don't know if that's a way that they'll have the story sort of not be told in a linear fashion. But Caitlin Dever looks great as Abby in the scenes they did. I nothing is perfect casting for anything, but she looks like Abby in terms of it doesn't look like out of place for her to be there, and she's a great actress. So it's going to be she's going to be going head to head with Bella Ramsey, who is probably at least an Emmy Award winning, if she hasn't already won an Emmy, probably should get one soon, level actress, and she's got to go toe to toe with her in this season. It looks like that they are going to get to those scenes. So it's a very good trailer. If you played the games, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, where you pretty much know where they're cutting the season off at. But yeah, it's going to be fun. September 26th is Outbreak Day, so they dropped the trailer on Thursday for this. So if you haven't watched the trailer, go out and check it out. Looks amazing. It'll be when I get an HBO Max subscription again for a little bit. All right, next up, and more Hollywood news. This will be a quick thing. It's just this man is finally doing what he's always wanted to do. Hideo Kojima signs with, I believe it's WME, big Hollywood agency, to, he wants movies, anime, and stuff. This was the final form of Hideo Kojima, and I'm glad that he's going to do it. I think he's in LA and stuff like that. So I don't know if he's going to try and do Death Stranding stuff or his other stuff that he's looking at, but yeah, if this was a RPG anime boss, this is his final form, is getting into the LA Hollywood scene with this. So just interesting news there. We'll see where it goes. And then speaking of expanding entertainment stuff, Ghost of Yotai is part of Sony trying to make it a thing. It definitely has enough there. You can make some really good animes off of it. You could probably, make a TV show. Shogun was pretty good from what I heard. I never seen it, but yeah, this seems like it's a good idea, and that history in Japan, while it has been overdone a bit, in terms of, not overdone, that's probably the wrong word, but people have dove into it a lot. It's still trying to capture a newer audience by using the video game to sort of get them into that. So so whether your opinion, Night Duck is on the side that Ghost of Tsushima wasn't good. I think they're trying to more, in this case, follow. They're trying to follow on the heels of like I said, like a Last of Us, or even a Shogun TV show, to try and kind of get that money and audience there. So yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see if games finally start being good when they cross over to things. All right, and then in Nintendo news, I only pulled this because it seems like this happens around every new console generation, where people ask Miyamoto or somebody in Nintendo, "Hey, you guys don't seem to be going for the high-end graphics stuff." So yeah, of course they're going to be, because they are not focused on specs and stuff like that. They're going, no, we make games uniquely Nintendo. They say that all the time. I don't know why people continue to ask them. They are very much their own thing. And they can sell a shit ton of things just being themselves. And I think they have structured their company in a way that they don't need to bring in as much money as Sony and Microsoft does. So I pulled this because Miyamoto gets asked this all the time. And it's just, the opening of the museum here, and I guess maybe that brought it back up. But I don't know why people are surprised when, they're not like, oh yeah, we don't care about like 4K 120 or, anything like that. It's why our stuff doesn't go to PC or whatever. It's just, they're making Nintendo stuff for Nintendo things, and they'll bring in the stuff from the outside that might be a higher thing, and they'll play it off the cloud, so they don't have to pay for the specs and the hardware, and that's how they save money. Yep. It's just a deja vu again as the new console, like the Pro, is coming out, and then Switch 2 and all that. So. Next up, this is just a PSA. If you're still playing Starfield, the release times have been announced. I only pulled this because in today's world, I don't know why there's still staggered release times for stuff like this. I mean, maybe it's a server thing. Maybe I'm not as much an IT knowledge base as I should have. But I don't know why global launches can't exist, even if it's just Greenwich Mean Time, and we get weird times for release. So, unless I'm misunderstanding what they're doing here. Maybe they are doing that, but yeah, where are they basing it out of? What is LA like the center point? Sorry, I might have just talked out of my ass for the last 2 minutes. Yeah, like the center point makes no sense. Like if you're doing unless if they're doing 12 a.m. in Tokyo, like you would think at 12 a.m. whatever. I had misinterpreted this, but yeah. But either way, the time still makes sense because it's like 8 a.m. in the United States is the earliest for LA, 11 a.m. Eastern for probably most of the people that listen to this. It looks like maybe it has to be tied in. Tokyo is the only one that's sort of like a midnight release for it, so maybe it's all based off that. I don't know. But it seems like Bethesda would have lined it up like midnight in New York. It's just weird. Just the time's just weird. The one other thing to know, if you are interested in getting this, Bethesda recommends that you don't start the DLC until you reach level 35. So be aware of that, unless if you want to say, I take that as a challenge and go in lower. Next up, a bunch of things got announced for Xbox from the Tokyo Game Show in terms of Square stuff. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster is coming out for, it won't be on Game Pass, but it is coming out for Series X and all that. I bought the Pixel Remaster from PlayAsia like almost a year ago and have not had the chance to play any of them. Even though I had plans to stream playing them. We just got into Persona, and that took away from that. Trials of Mana is available on Game Pass today. If you're in that, the Dragon Quest 3 remake, November 14th, that will be on Xbox. So it really looks like that Square is looking to do the thing because of the lack of profit they made from the games that were exclusively Sony. previously. So now it's spreading out to Xbox. So maybe like Final Fantasy 17 and maybe the remake for Final Fantasy 7, remake and rebirth will both come to Xbox at some point. So yeah, just go. I'm probably going to download Trials of Mana when we get out of here. Next up, Game Pass games, as I always do. Final two stories are just about things being announced that you can download for free. Free is relative because you have to pay for the services. So I already have Age of Mythology, the Mudrunner game, Riders Republic, Train Sim World, Wargroove, Frostpunk, Aria, History Untold. I may have already done this last week. I didn't really look at the date, but just a reminder for everyone. Trials of Mana, Legends of Mana, as we mentioned previously, and we love Katamari Reroll and stuff like that. Some of these are exclusive PC, some of them are both. Frostpunk 2 and Aria, History Untold being the only PC ones. And finally, last story. Sony announces it's PS Plus games, the monthly games. They didn't do a list. All right, let me find it in the thing. It looks like WWE 2K24. This looks like this will be the monthly games. These are ones you can download for free no matter what level you have. And it looks like the Dead Space remaster will be one of them. I will confirm this on Tuesday. This is not a very... That's what I'm assuming. It doesn't look like it says extra or premium for any of these. Maybe they are. Doki Doki Literature Club, which is a pretty interesting game. Legacy of Kain will join the classics along with Dino Crisis. Last of Us Part 1 is for PS Plus and Premium members, or Extra and Premium members. And then, the Quidditch Champions, MLB The Show, and Little Nightmares 2 are available as well for you. So, yeah, that's the games if you have the PS Plus stuff. Hey, J-Poc! Yeah, I am also very much give me a Final Fantasy VI remake. I think you should go more the HD 2D route. I think there's way too much game there to try and do a full, like they did with FF7 remake. I think it'll need to be like 5 games to do all the content in FF in Final Fantasy VI. But yes, let's get. There's 2 things I'm pounding the table for. Is give me an HD 2D remake of Final Fantasy VI, and bring Wind Waker to Switch. Dear God, Nintendo, bring Wind Waker HD to Switch. It is literally the last game that you're holding hostage on the Wii U for some perverse reason. Just release it. Just put it out there. You're putting out the stupid Donkey Kong game that came out for it. Give me Wind Waker. And I can last... I haven't gotten to the passionate point with Final Fantasy VI yet. We'll get there at some point. Maybe a couple years down the road when it hasn't been announced yet or anything. But the Wind Waker thing pisses me off so much. So, anyway. So that's the show. Thank you for joining late, J-Poc. Just to let you know, we usually go live about 9 o'clock on Fridays here for the news show. We'll be back tomorrow playing through the demo of Metaphor. So be sure to check that out if you're watching this live on Twitch. Please go see the archive if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to the podcast version. We'll be there. And then Sunday, we'll have Nier Automata. And then tonight, meaning Monday, we will be beating Donkey Kong Country. I literally just have to beat King K. Rool. Again, should be a short stream. We may have a second game as well. So be on the lookout for that. That'll do it. Be sure to check out the Discord here and Roxy Foxy for Extra Life stuff, which is our fundraiser for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia that we'll be doing in November. Details and all will be available on both. So, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, J-Poc. Thank you, Night Duck. Thank you, Metal Militia. It is fun as always. And we'll see you next time. Bye.